Crossing the Mauer, Chapter 5, Andere.
As we fell down, the water felt thinner and thinner. Although it was dark, the reflection of the silver moon made it clear enough to see Shayla. Her smile made the fall less frightening. Not that I was scared or anything. I felt my body spinning uncontrollably. I felt dizzy. Then in one swift movement, I was surrounded by bubbles. Every spin, all I could see was bubbles. At first I thought I had passed gas, but this was something different entirely. Shayla's arms pulled me closer to her. I thought I had lost her in the bubbles.
Hold on,
She shouted over the roaring explosion of bubbles we fell through. I tried to nod, but the force of the water stopped me. We spun around in endless circles together until I felt rather sick. That's when I felt myself falling into a deep, black sleep. I woke up. My head was still spinning from a large fall I endured, but the soft sand beneath me assured me that it was all over. I opened my eyes gently. The bright lights of pink and yellow caused me to blink violently until my vision was not blurred, and then I saw it. At first I thought it was Britopia, but it wasn't. I was in Andere land. It was different to what I was expecting. I mean, where was the blood-hungry sharks? I wasn't expecting it to be colourful either, but everything was so bright and inviting. It was then when I started properly questioning why there was a wall separating us in the first place. Perhaps the inhabitants were dangerous. Shayla appeared from a distance, skipping and humming. Her brown hair was floating so freely I was sure it was going to swim away from her at any point.
you're awake?
She smiled. I sat up straight and on the sand and asked, "How did we even get here?"
There's a current that runs between Britopia and here.
She explained.
We jumped right into it.
I didn't know why I hadn't been told of this secret current before. Then I thought the reason why it was all secret was to stop the Andarians getting onto our side. I did think they were dangerous after all.
So what's your plan?
Shayla asked me, fiddling with her long locks of curly hair. Well, I said, I'm going to be fair, I had no idea what my next plan of action was. I'd gotten caught up with how I would cross the wall. I never even thought of what I would do if I got over it. I'll find out where the leader is and I will take my mum back to Britopia, I finally said.
The leader?
Shayla asked, smiling.
Do you mean the Queen?
The Queen? I replied.
Yeah, and Andereland is ruled by one queen.
She said.
I thought you would have known that, given that you were her nephew.
My mum had a sister? This was all news to me. How do you know my mum has a sister? I questioned. And how do you know who my mum is?
Oh, everyone knows who you are, Lockig.
She smiled at me, and then she tousled my hair.
On the Andarian side, we were taught all about your culture.
I stared at her blankly. I didn't know what to think. Well, why would my mum keep a secret this big from me? In fact, why would she keep a secret so big from the whole of Britopia?
Lockig, I'm sorry if I said something that upset you.
Shayla sat beside me. What happened? I asked.
What do you mean?
Shayla replied. I meant what happened between them. Shayla looked at me for a moment. She took a deep breath and started to explain.
Well, I don't know for sure, but apparently a very, very long time ago, ages ago, there was no wall, just one big ocean. Then something happened. A noble king died, leaving just your mother and her sister in line to the throne. They fought over it, and the Andarian queen decided to split the ocean into two.
I looked at her, amazed at her knowledge. That's when I finally started to understand the wall. How do you know all of this? I asked.
Because I have seen both sides, I just hear the rumours around.
She explained. I couldn't believe I had an auntie who I'd never met. And then again, I also couldn't believe my mum had a sister who wanted to kidnap her. All I knew was that fish politics were way too complicated for me to understand. Shayla, I began to ask, can you help me save my mum? She smiled back at me.
I'm already helping.